We're going to get into this thing. Audio is recording first. 3, 2, 1. All right. So, good morning, everyone. This is going to be kind of a different style. Just a really quick kind of like the one that I did with my mom. If you guys have seen that one, I'm sitting here with one of my longtime friends. I'm gonna call you the last name that I'm comfortable with, and then we can get into, because I don't even know how to pronounce your actual last name. This is Amy Curtis. That's how I know her. She is married. Her last name has changed. It's
Dekruyf.
Amy Dekruyf. See,
it's a hard one.
And if you saw how it was spelled, you'd be like, what the fuck? So yeah, so this is Amy Dekruyf, and she came over this morning because we want to talk about her business. She's starting or is running. You've been up for a few years.
I'm running, yes.
Has it been a few years?
It's been a few years, yep. So basically I've had the business
let's start with the name.
Going on.
What's the name?
So the name is Wiggles and Whiskers.
Okay, Wiggles and Whiskers, and it's a pet sitting business.
Yes. So I started it about 3 years ago.
Okay.
I've had the LLC.
You started 3 years ago?
Yes. Jeez. Yes. Started 3 years ago. Actually going into year 2 of having the LLC.
Okay. Yep. All right.
So licensed and insured. Pretty legit.
And just a great dog sitter, right?
Yeah. You know it.
So for anyone who is interested, she runs a dog sitting company, and you do like in-home dog sitting, right?
Yes.
Do you also do like out-of-home dogs? Like, do you bring dogs to your house? Is that like a thing? Or
no,
I'm just wondering. I'm just asking
No,
questions.
you're good. No, and that's a common misconception. I mean, you say in-home pet sitter and people kind of assume like, oh, I bring my dogs to you. Well,
okay.
I just had this thought about 2 years ago. No, 3.
Because
that's when it started.
3 years ago.
I have dogs of my own, and I don't like boarding them at all.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of boarding.
No. And so I was like, I can't be the only person that doesn't want to board their dogs.
And that's not a slight to any of the boarding facilities or anything like that.
No.
I think more what we're getting at is just my dogs. I know from personal experience, my dog is a lot more comfortable being at home.
Yes.
And even like I was saying with the out of home pet sitting, like I just don't think that my dog would be as comfortable even in someone else's home.
Right.
I think she's just a lot a comfortable just being here. Yeah, so
exactly.
Nothing against the boarding facilities, and there are some great ones.
There are some really good ones. I know. Shout out to Rocky Mountain Animal Hospital.
Yeah,
That's who I take my dog to for veterinary care.
Also, Sunrise Pet Lodge.
Yep.
They've got some. I've actually seen. I did some work up there years back. And I have actually seen some of their actual like boarding facilities up there, and they're really nice. Like each dog gets its own like room.
Yes,
like it got a door and a window and like.
And speaking of that, actually, Four Paws Boarding, I feel like they have some pretty nice.
Four Paws. That's the one down by the fairgrounds.
They moved.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yep, they moved up by the Humane Society, I do believe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
But they have great services. Like they have cameras and. Just wonderful services.
Nice.
But I guess what I'm getting at is, it's nice for people to have options.
Yeah.
If people want to board their dogs, that's great. That's awesome. If you want your dogs to stay at home, you have an option.
Now we have an option.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
As of right now, you've actually got stuff going on today after this, right?
Yep,
yeah, okay.
I do.
How many clients do you have right now? If that's okay to talk about.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
I would say it's funny because I never have, X amount of, let's say, I think I have consistently 30 to 40.
Wow, that's really good.
That use me on a pretty, throughout the year on a pretty regular basis. Never at the same time, mind you.
That would be awesome, though, right?
Well, holidays are coming up.
That's true.
Holidays are coming.
Holidays are coming up, and I know a lot of you guys are traveling.
Yes.
So if your travel plans don't include a pet-friendly option, we've got someone that can definitely come to your house and make sure they're doing okay throughout the day.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? So 30 clients, and again, you go to their house.
Yes.
How long do you spend? Like is there different like options for how long you spend there? Or
so across the board, I spend no less than 20 minutes.
Okay.
I have actually kind of upped that to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Fun fact, as of
Upgrades.
This Friday, I will be full-time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's starting this Friday.
Full-time.
We've actually
Yes.
talked about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be completely full-time, available Sunday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay.
I do have to sleep.
That's fair. That's fair. We got to get sleep at some point.
Yes.
So for anyone that is unfamiliar with that, what she's getting at is she is leaving her corporate mess, like like the rest of us are working. She's leaving that and venturing out on her own.
Yeah.
And Friday is going to be your first day fully self-employed.
Yes.
Man, what's
I'm
that?
excited.
What's that like? Is that scary?
It is. It really is. I have loved, truly, I have loved being in the dental field. I'm a dental assistant. I have loved my dental career. But at this point, I'm really excited to be my own boss.
Yeah. How long have you been doing the dental stuff?
7 years.
Holy shit! 7 years. You said you were a assistant there?
Dental assistant.
Dental
yes.
assistant.
Not to be confused with dental hygienist.
I was
please.
gonna ask, like, so are you? What does the dental assistant do?
So the dental assistant does everything except clean teeth
Okay.
and fix teeth.
So you're like.
So I'm seating patients, taking X-rays, taking impressions,
Oh,
cleaning
okay.
rooms, assisting the doctor with all procedures,
So-
suctioning, everything.
So you're the guy that when
The guy.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah,
guy that when it's 2019, everyone. It
right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. Okay.
Oh Lord.
So, like when I go to the dentist, there's the lady or the guy that when after I check in, I'm waiting in the waiting room. She's the first one that comes out and calls my name, takes me back, sits me in a chair, gets all the X-rays and
Yep.
stuff ready. You're
Yep.
that.
I'm that
person.
guy.
Okay, you're that guy.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So yes.
Is there schooling involved in any of that or?
No, not for Wyoming. I received all of my training on the job
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of neat.
from a dentist directly.
Sure.
So
That's kind of cool though
Yeah.
that you don't have to because I mean that's clearly a very profitable.
it is. Yeah, it's
field,
great. It's
so-
a great field to be in, but at this, life changes and
I talk about it on every single podcast, and it makes sense to bring it up again. Like the reason why we do this stuff is because no one wants to give somebody else money for their entire week, right? You
Yeah.
know, like we're all just out there trying to make our own money and make our own way.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's good.
that's fucking cool.
It's good.
Scary. That's a scary endeavor. I've thought about because I want to for anyone that doesn't know, I am in the process of trying to start my own studio and my own label. So I don't think I've actually told anybody that yet. But, that's a first. My close friends know that, but that's
You heard
about
it here first.
Yeah, scary place to hear something like that first.
It is scary though. I will interject and say this.
Do it.
Matt and I have known each other since 9th grade.
I thought it was like 7th grade.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you sure?
Centennial Junior High, circa 9th grade.
Shout outs. Is Centennial Junior High even up there anymore? Or
Yeah.
didn't they like change the name of it or something?
No, it's still Centennial.
Oh no, there's another school up there, isn't there? Like behind Centennial now.
That's Summit Elementary.
Oh, it's that's an elementary school.
It is.
Looks like a freaking college. Sorry. Looks like a college campus.
Yeah, it's very nice. But so anyways, Matt and I met guitar class, 9th grade.
For reals? At
yes.
Centennial?
I remember.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember anything. So
Girl remembers.
it makes sense.
Anyways,
This guy knows what's up.
this guy knows. So just thinking back to how long Matt and I have been friends and just all of the years in between, it's like, man, now we're 30 and we're just doing our own thing. I don't know. It's
Age exposed.
It's kinda,
Once again, age exposed.
I dropped it.
We're fucking old.
It's fine. Fine.
Everything hurts.
It's-
For anyone that's not 30 yet, everything hurts.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I said this in the very first podcast with Jason. There are nights that you fall asleep and you sleep so well.
Oh,
And you wake up and you're broken.
you're broken.
You slept great. You slept
Which-
a full 8 hours, didn't move, had great, didn't have any crazy dreams or anything, and you wake up and you're like, I can't move.
No.
I gotta wait for a minute.
Which brings me back to my, my pet sitting hours.
Okay.
9 o'clock is my cap. I have to be in bed by 9 a.m. because I was telling Matt when I got here this morning, I was up at 5:30 and I start. So that's a good thing for you folks to know. I do start, I like
Early
to call
riser.
them morning rounds.
Early riser.
I start my pet care at 6 a.m.
Oh my god.
Maybe even a little bit before.
Yeah, you sent me a message this morning at like 7:15.
Yep.
And
Oh, that's nothing.
I was almost angry.
I was done. I was done with morning rounds.
I was making my way out. I was like ready to go. God, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been working mornings for 6 years consistently. Something about mornings, they don't get easier. They never get easier.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the type of person I am, I guess. But
I'm definitely a morning.
I've noticed that. Yeah, I've noticed that. Morning! I'm like,
You're like, go to bed.
I'm like, hang on, wait, I can't, hang on, just give me a second.
So I guess to put everyone at ease, my mind is always, when I leave my last client at night, whether that's I try to push it as late as I can, within reason. I do have other things going on.
We're people.
We're people. We have lives. But keeping in mind, like the smaller the dog, the smaller the bladder, and I am very conscious.
Oh,
yes.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about something like that. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yep.
So if you say you try and quit by 9 o'clock, but there's always that.
There's always an exception, and that can be discussed, individually with clients.
Okay.
I feel like,
Right.
if somebody comes to me and they're like, Amy, my dog cannot go 12 hours, we're gonna have a mess.
Or even
like,
8 hours.
or
something.
even 8. Yeah. I mean, that is always something that I am willing to negotiate. We can get that worked out. So,
Okay.
Every owner, every pet has individual needs and wants and requests, and I am all about
We all love
being
our
flexible.
pets. And
yes.
our pets are our children.
Oh.
Especially like in my case, I consider my dog and my cat. You saw my cat. She's bolting around all over the place. She's a crazy animal. It's nuts. That cat. She's feral. I found her in the wild. So yeah, she acts very feral. She was just climbing the curtains like right before we started this. She was halfway up the curtains. I had to shoo her off of there.
And I have 2 of my own, so they are always a priority.
There's a question. Is it just dog sitting that you're doing?
No, that's a great question. No, so I do have a few cat clients. Cool. Like I have a couple houses that have dogs and cats. I have. Let's see.
Cats are probably a little bit easier though, right? Because pretty much you feed them and they poop in a box, and then if you got to change the box and make sure they got food, right?
They don't need anyone. I'm convinced that cats
Speaking
are.
of which,
yep,
I'm gonna go.
I'm convinced that cats are perfectly content with people leaving them alone.
Yeah. I've always
some of them. Some. I get some pretty lovey ones, but
I grew up with cats as a kid, and it's funny because we had the polar opposites. We had the spectrum of cats because we had one cat that was just like, I'm in. Let's go hang out. I want to be around you. I want you to love me. And then we had another cat that was like, forget you, dude. Forget you. Like, I don't care if you're around. I don't care as long as that food dish is full,
the food,
and I've got water and a place to poop. I don't care.
Yes.
And so that's cool. So
that's a trend.
Would you do like exotic animals? Like if someone had like a snake or a bird or something?
Okay, here we go.
Uh-huh.
So I do draw the line at spiders. I do not.
Oh, you don't want to feed a tarantula?
No, no, sir. I'm sorry. I apologize. I feel like, let's see. I think the craziest animal I've had, it's not even that crazy, was just guinea pigs.
Oh.
Like, I've done guinea pigs. I've done...
I bet that was cute as hell.
Oh, man.
Yeah?
Oh, they're so sweet. They have the sweetest personalities.
I like guinea pigs a lot.
Oh, they're so cute. I think that's the craziest thing I've done. I've had a couple, like, prospects mention snakes, and I'm like, eee.
Not a snake girl? No?
No, sir. I think as long... Okay, here's my exception. You can quote me. As long as I don't have to...
Now. You're going to be fact-checked all over the place. So.
As long as I don't have to touch the snake or feed it anything live. Please don't make me do that.
Oh, you don't want to do live feedings?
No, I don't.
You know Gabe Hathaway, right?
Yes.
Shout out, buddy,
hey,
if you're watching
Gabe.
this, if you ever come across this. He used to have, I think it was a ball python.
Oh.
And his name was Tepe.
No.
Shout out thrice, Tepe, guitar player. Yeah. And we used to do live feedings, and it got to the point, ball pythons, they're like honey badgers. They don't give a shit.
They don't.
Sorry about the language, but they really don't. They don't.
They don't.
And I don't know. That's always been the scary thing for me with snakes. Like, I don't mind snakes, but like subconsciously, deep down, I know that snake is like, it's a wild animal.
It's a snake.
It's a
slithery snake. All the memes.
It's got it's got those primal instincts.
Yeah.
And snake doesn't care about you.
Nope.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I've seen people with pet snakes that are really friendly and they're cute and they're fun to, do the thing or whatever. And
it's a snake.
I just don't know if I could have one.
Sorry.
I don't know if I could do that.
No, I don't think I
watched,
could do it.
It got to a point with Gabe's snake where, you know, to feed it, you always want to take it out of the tank to feed it so
Right.
that you're not getting it accustomed to snapping at your
Yes.
hand when you're putting your hand in the
Yep.
tank. But it got to the point where even when he was taking Tepe out of the tank to put him in his feeding box, he knew that, like, when I go in that feeding box, it's strike time.
Yeah.
So, like, even when, you know, he would strike out of the box that he was supposed to be feeding
wow.
in, and he got big. And
I bet he did.
he started out
He's
as
a
just a
ball
little guy.
python.
It was adorable. It was
Yeah.
and he was friendly,
Cute.
and I think it just gets to a point where, kind of like a wild cat or a wild dog, you know, you bring it into the house, or it's like kind of raising a bear. You know, at a certain point, that bear is going to flip the switch and go,
Yes.
all right,
Yes.
what am I doing here? Like,
Yeah.
what's this
I
guy
don't-
doing?
I don't need you.
Why is he feeding me?
Your food. Why are you giving me
I
food?
can
Your
eat
food.
This thing, like. So,
Yes.
okay, so you
Yeah.
draw the line at
I do.
spiders. Would you consider taking on a snake, though? I think that was where we started.
I
with
would
this.
if no live feedings are involved.
Okay, so what about like the frozen mice? Is that because
Oh, okay.
it's like partially live, but
I just throw it if I can just throw it in there and
like
be
a chunk
done,
of meat? You just kind of
yeah.
there we go.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I have done birds. Don't mind birds. That's
What kind of
that's
birds?
Cool.
You've
Oh,
done
I
anything-
think I did a parakeet once.
Nice. My
Yeah.
sister had a parakeet
Yeah,
for a long time.
just
His name was
cute.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Shout out Mikey. Miss you, buddy.
Aw, That's sweet.
He was a cute bird. She had a couple of them actually. She had 2 parakeets.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so back on. I'm just stuck.
you're
I'm
good.
stuck on the snake thing.
Oh, God. Can we not talk about
I'm just
snakes?
trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure out. We drew the line at spiders, so and that's fine. I wouldn't.
Yes.
I'm not big on spiders either. I don't
No,
like tarantulas.
No. Oh, can I add something?
Please,
Can we get away from the snakes?
that's fine.
I will
Okay.
say, I am comfortable giving medications to pets.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that the other day.
yes.
Is that a recent thing that you were telling me about that you're going to start doing?
I am gonna start charging for it. I do believe.
Okay.
I have not charged for it in ever, and so I think that and including not just oral medication but subcutaneous injections.
What is that?
It's just an injection
Like a
into the skin.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like what are the you put them in your butt. What's
Oh my!
it?
What?
No, not an enema.
Oh.
It's a
Suppository.
That's
There
it.
we
Yeah,
go.
there it is. That's what it was.
Hey, speaking of this girl,
Yeah, there's the
there they go.
There's zoo animals. There's zoo animals.
this is perfect for our.
Yeah, it
for our
works out great.
podcast.
Yeah.
It is.
Happy animals all over the place.
Yep. Just thrilled. So happy.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. So me and Amy have gone to school together since I don't care. It was 7th grade. I don't
Amy
care.
and I.
Don't correct me. I'm the English major. Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm really not. I didn't graduate college. I went to college.
Hey, me neither.
No?
No.
Did you go to college?
For a year.
Yeah. I went for a year 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
high
And
five.
yeah.
Yep.
There are so many things wrong with that system. I can't even understand. I don't want to get political
No,
on anybody,
no.
but there are a lot of things wrong with
No.
just our education system in general. There really is. Like, I think it's. I was actually talking to my friend last night about the college because she's in college, and I was talking to her about it. And I think I'm fighting back
I
there.
see that.
Hey, your morning distraction. So,
Yep,
I think the biggest problem for me with college is that you have this goal in mind of what you want to do, right? Like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like I can use myself for an example. When I went to college, the first time I went to college, I wanted to go for music education.
Right.
So I wanted to teach people how to play music.
Yeah.
I still want to do that. I just
Absolutely.
took it out of college and I just bring people in here now and help them in here. But I think the messed up part about it is that like I want to go to college to pursue my end goal. And I think that the schools put a lot of things in the way of that. Like, for instance, I want to go for music education. Anyone out there that knows anything about playing music and reading sheet music knows very, very well that you do not need Trig 2 to be able to read sheet music. You don't need it. But for some reason, if you want to get a music education degree, you got to have it. You have to have like a bunch of world history. And I understand some part of the history because you want to know a little bit about, where famous composers came from and their stories and things like that. But that's like a specified theory. That's not, I'm learning about like Wyoming history. And no offense, but I don't give about Wyoming history. I don't care. I think there are great things that happen. But again, for my what I'm pursuing.
For you personally.
I'm not going to need that.
Yeah.
So what I think it should be, you should be spending, and I do believe in electives. Don't get me wrong. Or not electives, core classes. I do believe in core classes. I think they're important. But I think the structure is backwards, because when I was going to college, I was taking all of my core classes, and then an hour and a half to 3 hours a day was spent playing music.
Right.
Whereas I think it should be the other way around. You know, the first 6 hours of my day should be spent playing music. And then at the end you go, oh, by the way, you're going to need these few math classes, this one science class, and these few other core classes that you're going to need. But
all of that to say, I have a question for you.
oh boy.
All of that to say, I feel like, so what I'm pursuing, like this, my own business, you're kind of doing the same thing. I feel like we agree that I don't have any degrees. I don't have, it's simply, this is what I wanted.
Yep.
This is what I'm going to do. And you're not going to stop me.
That's, and yeah. And
would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And another, small prejudice that I have against college is, especially nowadays, when I need to learn something,
Google,
YouTube. There are 10,000 people out there that have already done it 100 times that will show you exactly how it's done and exactly the way to do it. And they'll give you different options on, well, if it doesn't work for you this way, try it this way. Well, if it doesn't work that way, try it this way. You can get this thing and, do something else. Like I've learned more about audio production and recording from YouTube than I ever learned at my 4 years at Casper College. Ever.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's just like everything that I've learned. I mean, we're recording right now through this program.
Oh yeah.
Fully self-taught. Like I bought this program on my own. I mean, I had a decent idea. I knew that, you needed microphones and you got to have
But there's so
basics.
much else. There's so much that goes into it.
Oh, there's
I can't even begin to imagine.
So much.
But I respect that. I think that's awesome.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the cool thing about it is there are like one of the guys, actually major shout outs coming up, like huge major shout outs. And I really hope, I'm going to tag them in it and just see if they say anything. But Glenn Fricker, Warren Hewitt, Cameron Webb, you guys, they're professionals. Warren Hewitt recorded Aerosmith, Maroon 5, Ace Frehley. I mean, he has done humongous artists. Cameron Webb is responsible for damn near every single punk album you've ever heard. Wow. Just saying. NoFX, Offspring, Zebrahead, Motorhead. He did all the recordings for Motorhead. Like, cool. And so these guys are all on the internet doing master classes. So the guys that made it in the industry are offering videos on YouTube for free, showing you how they did it. Mm-hmm. Is there any better way to learn? Like, no offense to the college professors, I know those guys have been through it and they've been in the game for a long time. But in my field, what I want to learn how to do, I would rather watch the guys that are making the records that I listen to, watch them make those records and go, oh, that's how they did that. Mm-hmm. And I have learned so much. Like, it's very, very surprising. A lot of these guys that have multi-million-dollar studios are using some of the same equipment that I have. Wow. Like it doesn't take much anymore. But back in the day, they had giant tape machines and reel to reel, and it was all on one take, and you're sitting there splicing tape and gluing everything together. And boom, mad respect for that era, because if that's what it took today, I probably wouldn't be doing this. Right. It's so much easier today. All I do is click a button, and the compression comes in, and all the volume comes in, and at the end of it, I hit stop, and it exports it all, and we're there. It's on the internet an hour later. So
really, all of that to say, if you want something bad enough,
you can do it.
You can do it.
Especially nowadays, there are resources. And even on another subject, like I don't consider myself to be an auto mechanic by any means, but I'm also a broke dude. So when something happens with my vehicle, I can't pay someone to fix it. Like I have to fix it. Right. And YouTube has essentially turned me into a pseudo mechanic. I've done so much work on my vehicles just by looking up on, like, oh no, this is going wrong. I think this is the problem. Type it into YouTube, and there's like 40 videos on guys doing it 10 different ways. Yep. So, I mean, the resources are out there.
YouTube is wonderful. I actually learned how to fix my dryer.
See? From YouTube, right?
From YouTube.
I've learned.
My husband is gone a lot. And
shout out, James. What up?
Shout out, James.
Thank you for your service, man.
Love you, babe.
Yeah. Seriously.
He's gone a lot.
He's overseas right now, yeah?
He is deployed right now. But I had to figure it out. And it's like you either, somebody's not always available to bail you out.
Right.
YouTube.
It's amazing. I've learned one of my biggest phobias about being a homeowner is plumbing. That's something I don't know anything about. There are two things. Yeah, there are two things in this house that I don't know anything about. One is plumbing. The other one is that chimney in the back room. It works just fine, but when it comes time to clean it, I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Is there like a, how do I, and they're like, just get up there and check the flume and make sure. And I look in there and it's just like a black abyss of nothing. And I'm like, I don't
know.
Make sure it's open. Make sure it's open and adjusted. If it's not, make sure you, and I'm like, where are these things? What? And so it makes me nervous to start a fire because I'm like, there's all these videos on the internet. People are like, make sure it's legit or else you're going to die. And I'm like, well,
you don't know if there's critters in there.
Yeah.
You don't know who's in there.
No idea.
I will interject and say this. This is a side note. Back to the services.
Yeah.
For homeowners that are gone and decide that they would like me to pet sit for them. Basic things like mail retrieving.
Sure.
Trash cans.
Yeah.
I'll clean your fireplace if you need me to. I don't know. I don't know. But
we'll talk after this. We'll talk. I'll get you.
Good.
I'll buy the sweeps if you get up there and sweep
good.
it out, okay?
Come out of there like who's the guy off Mary Poppins?
Oh,
Bert?
I don't know. Bert,
Anyways.
yeah, from Mary Poppins.
Anyways.
I haven't seen that movie since I was 4. I don't know.
Anyways, it just made me think like
how about snow removal?
Don't do snow removal.
Just asking.
Sorry about that.
I mean, you're the one that posted a video on your Facebook about you being all badass and removing all your snow. Just saying.
I was hurting like a 30-year-old after that.
Yeah. Did you?
By the way.
But you had a snowblower, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, at least you didn't have to shovel all that.
Yes. I learned my lesson.
I'm stuck with a shovel here still.
I'm sorry.
Can't afford a snowblower. Those things are expensive.
They are.
Hey, if anybody wants to like support me and like buy me a snowblower, that'd be sick. I'll have you on the show.
Send money to his PayPal.
Yeah. Venmo. Give me Cash App and Venmo. Let's do it. I don't know what either of those words mean, but people say them all the time when they talk about internet money. So.
I love Venmo.
Yeah?
A lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would imagine for a small business, it's probably pretty good, right? Because
it's good.
It's a Cash App, right? That's what Venmo is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically just sending money back and forth to your friends for whatever.
We were down at... I think Pepper's got something outside. She's been standing in the background for a little while. She's looking out the window for anyone who's wondering. Me and Kyle were down at, and Gabe. Hey, shout out again, guys.
Hey.
We were down at Backwards Distillery the other night, and we
Love that place.
We got some drinks. Holy moly!
Shout out Backwards Distillery.
Yeah, shout out, guys. They're new. If you guys haven't been to their new location downtown, it's awesome.
It is.
It looks really cool. It's the first time I had been there. The only other place I had been was their place out by the news station, like their first location out there. Yep. And so we got these. I don't even know what they were. It's like this mocha, amazing hot chocolate.
Oh, that's Mr. North.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Mr. North.
Yes.
We each got a Mr. North. Those things are, whoo,
excellent.
They're $10 a drink, but
I
they're
don't care.
Totally worth it.
They're amazing.
Totally worth it.
Yep.
But we all got our drinks and we were getting ready to close out, and the girl came around and she's like, "Are these going to be separate or together?" And we were like, I'm sorry, it's going to be separate." And there's 10 or 4 different checks, And she walked away, and Kyle was actually like, we all need to get on Venmo. And I was like, the hell is Venmo? And he's like, well, it's that Cash App. So like, one of us could pay for it and then the rest of us could just Venmo you money. And I was like, huh.
What a concept.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. I wonder who thought of that.
Yeah.
They're making so much money right now.
So much money. What was the first way to transfer money?
PayPal?
Was it PayPal? I think you're right.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I think you're right. Man, whoever thought up that system of just transferring money just digitally. I mean, I guess banks have been doing it for years, but like doing it without a bank involved. Whoever thought that up, genius. Genius.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I need to get on board with some of that stuff.
Yep.
I don't even have a Twitter account, you guys.
I don't either.
I don't have an Instagram.
Does that make us lame?
Do you have an Instagram?
Yes.
See?
Instagram
it makes me extra
is
lame.
my jam. That was lame.
Instagram jam, huh?
Oh, love Instagram so much.
Really?
Yes. I love it more than Facebook.
That's what I've been hearing.
I've been hearing way more.
Well, Facebook's kind of trash now anyways.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's mostly just Facebook it's mostly just clickbait and cat memes. It's the two ladies yelling at the cat.
I'm not mad at the cat.
Do you
memes.
know?
Those
Do you know
are
where
funny.
that came from? By the way, do you have
No.
any idea where that
No,
originated?
tell me.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Oh,
I don't
you're
know if
gonna
it's
tell
from
me.
like I don't know if it's from like a TV show or something, but like I just don't understand the. I think they're hilarious. I think they're super hilarious.
They are. And if anybody knows where that originated,
Yeah, I just don't. There's two ladies yelling at a cat in a restaurant. And I don't know if the cat was like photoshopped in over somebody else and it like came from a TV show or something. I don't know.
it's hilarious.
I think they're
It's
great
funny.
though. I
It's
think
funny.
there's been a lot of some of the ones I like the most are the ones where they show a license plate that's got a bunch of letters
Okay.
pushed up next to each other.
Yeah.
I won't give any
Oh.
examples because a lot of them are inappropriate.
I'll give an appropriate one. I
Okay.
saw one the other day and it was like just a sign on like a soda machine and it said no ice. And so it's the two,
Noise.
so
Yeah.
it's the two ladies and she's like, no ice. And the cat's like, noise.
Noise.
And then below that is Steve Irwin and he's like, noise.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. That is a good one.
so funny.
That one's been circulating a lot. I saw just to be topical. I saw a Jeffrey Epstein one the other day.
Oh, God.
It was the Dos Equis guy, the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah.
But it was Epstein's face photoshopped over the top, and it said, all it said was, "I don't always kill myself, but when I do, I didn't."
Oh, my God.
That one had me
fantastic.
going. I was at work and it was like totally quiet at my work, and I happened to
Fantastic.
scroll up on that one and just burst out laughing, and everyone's like,
What is
and I was
wrong
like,
with
it's
you?
an Epstein
It's
meme.
fine.
Epstein meme. It's
Anyways.
okay.
Anyways, social media.
Yeah.
Instagram
Instagram's where
is
it's
where
at,
it's
huh?
at. Yeah, and I don't have a Twitter. I do have a website.
Oh,
That,
hey.
sorry,
Boom,
that
website
sparked
plug.
yeah.
I'll put the link in the description below, so if you guys want to go check that out. She actually showed me the other day. It's set up really well.
Thank you. I built it myself.
Did you really?
I did.
What'd you use?
I think it was Vista Print.
Vistaprint does websites?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
See, I don't know. I guess I'm just old. I don't know.
No, I'm not really. Yeah, I feel like I stumbled upon it actually.
Okay.
You know, because I order business cards through Vistaprint and they have screaming deals.
Yeah, that's where we get that's where Records gets all of our business cards.
Good. Yeah, it's wonderful, and so I feel like I just stumbled on it, and it was like build a website, and it was pretty affordable, pretty cheap,
Cool.
not bad at all.
I've heard a lot about what's the other company? Wix, I think is one of the other website building companies. They've got commercials on TV. But yeah, I building websites. That's cool.
It took me a minute.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not real long. I mean, it took me maybe an hour and a half.
So I've never done it before. Do they have like templates and stuff that you pick
Oh, yeah.
a template and then move
Yep.
all your stuff in there
Yes.
and like
yeah, they make it pretty easy, pretty, basic step by step.
I like the way websites are transitioning now. I don't know if you've noticed a trend in websites, but I definitely have just from shopping around for different equipment and things like that. A lot of websites are doing it now to where they have a banner, a stagnant banner at the top, or not stagnant, a static banner at the top that stays, and then the rest of the web page moves either
Yes.
below it or around it or something.
Yes.
I really like that
I
design.
like that too. Yeah.
Super smooth. And it keeps... I think I like it so much because it keeps your brand posted on the page the whole time. Like you can't ever scroll away from your
Right.
logo or your brand
Right.
or whatever it is. It just keeps
Interesting.
it up there. It keeps your number up there, your email address, your website, and then
Love
everything
that.
just moves around it.
I like that.
I think that's a really cool design. If I ever get to the point where I'm savvy enough to create my own website, which it sounds like
It's pretty easy.
not that hard to do.
No.
Okay,
No.
cool.
Yeah, because I'm not. I mean, I like to say I'm tech savvy. I'm not that tech savvy.
You have an iPhone. I think.
oh.
I think that grandfathers you in. When you have an iPhone, you're like, well,
man.
I have an iPhone, so I pretty much know everything.
We're gonna have that debate.
Oh, we are.
Soon,
We are.
the iPhone droid. No. Yeah, but it was pretty simple. Anyways, back to I have a website. It's awesome. I take multiple forms of payments and
Cool.
just kind of bringing it on back to all the different clients that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do any of your clients use Venmo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that's a really and like. What are the transfer rates on that? Like not as far as like cost, but like time wise. So like when they Venmo you, does
it's
it
instant.
immediately go to your account? Okay.
Yep.
I learned that with my sister over this summer. We had, long story short, we ended up having to transfer some money around, and she did it through Facebook. There's a Facebook money transfer.
Yeah. Yes.
And no, like,
I think that has been around longer than people know.
that blew my mind.
Yes.
And not only because of the fact that you can just do it through Messenger. You press this little $sign and then it's like, how much do you want? And you send, and then it sends that to them.
Yep.
And then they just go, yeah, here you go.
Here you
go. I swear, like I requested the money from her. She sent it to me. and I checked my, like, right when she sent it, I checked my bank account and it hadn't loaded. Closed it and basically just reloaded the page and it was there.
Yeah.
It was like available, ready to use, ready to go,
and
in your account, totally cleared.
And I feel like with Venmo, so it'll show up instantly in your Venmo account. And of course, if you want to transfer it from your Venmo to your bank account, that takes a little bit of time. I think 1 to 3 business days.
So is there a way to?
But you can use Venmo as a payment, like you do PayPal.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So
Yep.
there's a way to use Venmo money.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not just a transfer app. It's like straight up. It's a cash app. Like you can use that to pay
Yep.
for other stuff.
Yep.
Do you know if you can Venmo for like websites and like for like if I was going to buy guitar strings on Amazon, can you use Venmo for that stuff? Is that a thing? Like a digital wallet kind of thing?
I don't know the answer for that. I know I have seen some websites, yes, they do accept Venmo as a payment.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Just along with PayPal or
Apple Pay, Google Pay, all that stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I was talking to somebody the other night about the Apple Wallet and how I think that's really, really cool that you can you have all of your cards loaded into your phone, and when you need to pay for something, as long as the checkout has that little wireless thingy, you can just hold your phone over it.
Yep, I have that.
Good to go. Is it awesome?
It is.
I've never used it, but I
feel like we're in that generation where it's still like, for me, it's still transitional. I'm like, like, even though
it's weird.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird feeling. It's
it
like
is.
Because there's no physicality to it at all. It just all happens over the airwaves, and I don't know. Call me old school, but I still feel a little weary about just having all of my money in digital form, like super digital.
Yeah.
Like it basically doesn't even exist.
Right. Like we're just moving numbers.
It's just a number.
Yeah.
The money is there obviously, but it doesn't feel like it's there.
Right.
And it feels weird, like walking into Walmart and just like, boop, all right, paid for.
Not physically like passing
somehow
bills.
My phone paid money for me. I don't know. I get weird about government intrusion and things like that too.
I
so
understand.
I don't know. I shouldn't because I'm not worth anything. So hey, if anybody wants to steal my identity, you can have it. There's nothing in there. So you can, it's all yours. But
and I still have I have clients that will still pay me in checks.
Really?
Yeah.
Checks are still a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yep. Definitely with we love our parents, but definitely with our parents' gen. For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine. That's fine.
I'll have to ask my mom about that if she's
But
moved.
back to, we're worried about everything over the airwaves. They're bypassing it completely by handing over checks or straight cash.
Yeah. That's how as far as my old schoolness, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I've got cash.
Yep.
Do you take cash?
Take cash?
Because
cash is always good.
I'd rather give you physical currency.
Right.
I don't know. It's just that sense of security for me. Yeah, it's really weird. It's just a transitionary thing, I guess. At a certain point, I'm sure there's going to be like there'd be none of that. Banks, like brick and mortar banks, won't exist anymore. It'll just be like you can still go to the ATM, but you can't like
physically go. Oh, that would be awful.
Yeah,
how
like
scary.
when you want to talk to a teller, or if you need to deposit a check, you do it at the ATM, and they're already doing that.
Well, dude, there's already mobile deposit.
Citibank's doing that right now.
My First Interstate Bank does. I just take a photo of my check.
First Interstate's doing that.
Yeah.
What up, First Interstate?
What's up?
Damn.
And they have for years.
Huh.
You just snap a photo of the front and back of the check, and it deposits right into your account.
What do you do with the check after that?
You rip it up. Write void on it, and then you rip
Void.
it up. Yeah. So people don't steal your
Doesn't
identity.
work. Yeah. Again, you guys can have it. You can have mine.
Don't take mine.
It's not worth anything. You guys, it's going to be more of a headache for you than it is for anybody else. So, like, if you want it, that's fine.
I'll be mad. Don't take mine.
Don't take hers.
Don't take my
don't
stuff.
Take hers. That wasn't a plug for hers. It's just a plug for mine.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, wow, it's been almost 40 minutes we've been talking.
Dang.
Didn't even. Yeah. Well,
flies right on by.
Pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's plug your business one more time.
Cool.
And then I'll let people know what's going on my end of the spectrum,
okay.
and then we'll go from there.
Cool. Sounds good. Well,
name of the company again.
The name of the company is Wiggles and Whiskers Pet Sitting LLC.
How do you find it on Facebook? Just type that in.
Yep. You just type that in. Matt will put the link for the website in as well. As of the 15th, I will be full time, available 7 days a week.
That's this coming Friday.
Okay. Yep. So holidays around the corner, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Do you book up for that stuff?
Yes, I do.
Like in advance?
Yes.
Okay. So make
do.
sure if you guys are planning something,
please,
get in now
please.
because
I do tell all of my clients. So I like to do like a meet and greet before any new client services, as much notice as possible is appreciated.
Sure, yeah.
At least, I mean, I'm talking like 48 hours.
Yeah,
if we have to do super short notice, 48 hours, because I like to come meet your pets, get a feel for, just their daily routines, your home, where things are located, like their
and
food.
let the pets get a little
Yes.
comfortable with someone else
Yeah.
being around too.
Yeah.
I'm sure that helps a little
Yep,
bit.
for sure.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't know you definitely want to do a small meet and greet.
Yes,
for
and
sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's always that's kind of a requirement.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
any.
definitely. That
And
totally makes
if you're a
sense.
current client, just at least the 48 hours notice.
Just let you know, like, hey, girl, I'm
Yes, like,
going out
hey,
of
can we
town.
get so and so on for these days, this many visits, whatever. Real quick, I do emergency visits.
Oh, cool.
If it is short notice, that's totally good and fine with me. I do charge a fee.
What warrants an emergency visit? Like, what are the what would an emergency visit be?
I actually recently had a client yesterday, actually. She's out of town working. Her husband was on days and is in the oil field, works long hours.
Sure.
And they have a dog door, which is dog doors are the best thing ever. But she got a text from one of her neighbors saying, "Hey, your dogs are barking." She texted me. She said, "Hey, Amy, I know this is like, I need you right now.
Oh, okay.
Can you please go to my house and just put the girls inside?"
Noise complaint kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Or
So-
anything, I would imagine.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
would you, like, if one of your clients' animals was injured or something like that,
Oh,
would you
yeah.
go pick them up and like help out,
Absolutely.
take them where they
Yep.
need to go? Cool.
Yep.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
good to know. Okay, so you're damn near full service. Like, you just
Pretty much.
we'll
Yep.
do good things for the
yes,
animals. That's
yep.
cool.
I
That's
have
really cool.
I have had an instance where I had to take a client to the vet.
Okay.
So I guess basically, and just kind of prefacing that, like, when you become a new client with me, you fill out digital paperwork.
Sure.
So I have your name, emergency contacts, the dog's name, their feeding regimen, the vet they go to,
Terms and conditions.
terms
all
and
that
conditions,
stuff.
all of that, that you agree to. So there is actually a kind of a clause in there. It's like, do you agree to, like, I will take your animal to the vet if needed.
Yeah.
And then there's like a certain amount of, services that I'm willing to pay for if
Okay.
you're out of town and stuff like that.
I would
So-
assume that's on a reimbursement basis. Yes. Like,
Yes,
I'll
absolutely.
pay to fix your animal, but
But
you gotta help
you'll
out when you get
reimburse
back.
me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Cool.
yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's really good to know, actually.
Yes.
Especially again with the holidays coming up.
Yes.
People are going to be out of town. Our animals get into all sorts of stuff, so you never know. Even if they eat something bad, they get into something in the backyard or something
Yeah.
like that. So it's good to know.
I would say 99% of the time, everything goes really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Haven't
That's
had
awesome.
haven't had too many troublesome
No.
events yet. So
No.
that's good.
Yep.
And you've been at it for 3 years, so
Yep.
that's awesome. Well,
Yes.
congratulations
Thank
on
you.
finally starting your venture on your
Thank
own.
you.
Scary but exciting at the same
Yes.
time.
Yep.
Definitely, it's inspiring for someone like
you.
me because anyone that knows me knows I am not a commitment guy. I'm bad with that stuff. So it's really, really, nerve-wracking and intimidating for me. So it's nice to know there's people out there.
good.
Nice to know people that I've known for a long time. And you're not the only one. I have other friends
No.
that have started their own businesses. Gabe Hathaway, again,
Yeah, buddy.
with your CNC stuff, man,
Yes.
your knives. Holy moly. We're going to
I'm
have
going
him
to
on.
buy one of those, by the way.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yes.
He brings his first prototype everywhere with him, and every time he gets it out, I'm like, it's a sick knife, buddy. It's a sick knife.
So cool.
I think I'm gonna have him and Kyle on one of these weekends.
Yes, you
So,
should.
Yeah.
Good for you, Gabe.
So anyways, so that's Amy's business,
Yep.
Wiggles and Whiskers.
Yep.
Wiggles and Whiskers Dog Sitting. Look it up on Facebook. I'll put the link to her actual website in the comments below. Get a hold of her for anything you need for pet sitting stuff.
Yeah.
On my end of things, there was a show last night. Sorry I didn't get a chance to plug it, but there was a show at the Bourgeois Pig with Rig Time, System Restore, and the Shivers. I hope that went really well, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. There is a show today, actually. This probably won't post in time, but there's a show today. It's an online digital show. It's called Madcap Schism, and it's the third time that we're doing it. So essentially, have you heard anything about this?
No.
So shout outs to Jessica Quick. She organizes the entire thing, and basically what she does is she reaches out to a bunch of bands and essentially sets up an online show. So you can watch bands perform live from the comfort of your living room. So you get on Facebook and there's a schedule. So every band has a time slot, and you can find it on the Madcap Schism Facebook. Like, again, this isn't going to post in time, but maybe for next time, something like that. But she finds all these bands and gives them a time slot, and at that allotted time, those bands will go live on their Facebook for however much time, right? So today, me and Jason are going live at 1:30, and we're playing for about a half an hour.
Cool.
And then, I think it starts at 11, so it's already going.
Dang.
And it goes until, I think, a little bit after 4 o'clock. So
Okay.
I think she's got 7 or 8 bands lined
Cool.
up on there. So
That's awesome.
It's a really cool thing.
Tune in, for sure.
Unfortunately, like I said, this won't post in time,
Yeah.
but for next time, keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. Other than that, November 15th, which is in 5 days. Oh boy. There's a show up at Gruner Brothers Brewery. It is Ford and Fossil and the Bones of J.R. Jones. And that's going to be a really, really fun night. He's a really, really cool dude. He's like bluesy, kind of soulful, R&B, rock kind of stuff. He's cool. I can show you some of his stuff after we're done here.
Heck yeah.
Other than that, I didn't make a list of plugs this time, sorry. But I will have Poetry No Prose on this afternoon. I'm doing 2 podcasts today. Yeah, I'm getting busy, everyone, and I'm okay with that. So keep me busy, please,
Yes.
because I love doing this stuff. So I'm going to have them on later today. We're going to sit down in the room and talk about just some random stuff and probably drink some beers and have a good time. So that's that'll do it.
Cool.
We're out of here. So
Awesome.
thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Peace.